There once lived a Prince Junju in the far village of Gombe who had been sick for 2 years, and no one knew the cure for his sickness. He became thinner and weaker each day. The king and queen did all they could to cure their son. They invited all sorts of native doctors, near and far, to help cure their son, but none of them knew the cure. The entire village, including the king and queen, thought that Prince Junju was going to die. He could not do anything, not even bathe himself. Deep down in Prince Junju's heart, he knew he was the cause of this strange illness. Back when he was healthy, he was a very wicked and proud prince who knew he was the sole heir to the throne. He misbehaved with everyone in the village, insulted them as well as their generations, and would order his guards to beat anyone who did not greet him. This made the people of Gombe hate and curse him. The worst crime Junju committed was sleeping with numerous women in the village, promising them marriage, which he never followed through on. He thought he was living his best life, and anyone who questioned his authority was banished from the village by him. His father, the king, warned him on many occasions to stop his evil behavior, but he never listened, and his mother, the queen, supported his actions, ignoring the cries of the villagers. One day, Prince Junju and his bodyguards were walking through the village when a blind old woman passed him without greeting him. This annoyed the prince. He asked the old blind woman how she dared to pass him without greeting him like all the other villagers did. He grabbed the old blind woman's walking stick and threw it to the ground, ignoring the fact that she was an old woman, old enough to be his grandmother. His guards were shocked and wondered why he was doing such things. Prince Junju further poured water on the old woman, insulted her, and called her names, leaving her on the ground. A week after the incident, Prince Junju became very sick and surprisingly thin, like a stick. No one knew what had happened to the prince, except for one villager, Aka, who saw the old blind woman whom the prince had assaulted disappear as soon as the prince left. Prince Junju regretted his awful behavior day by day. His illness worsened with each passing day. Only Aka knew that the woman the prince insulted was a witch. When she got home that day, she told her mother about the old blind woman's disappearance. Her mother told her that the old woman was a witch and would surely take her revenge on the prince. Aka and her mother were the only people who knew what had happened to the prince. The king was worried and scared that his only heir was going to die. Out of desperation, he announced that whoever cured his son would be crowned the king of the land. The queen tried to stop the king from making such an announcement because it meant their own son would not become king. However, the king said he valued his son's cure more than the throne. All the young men in the village searched for a solution to the prince's illness in order to become the next king. They traveled to different villages in search of a native doctor to cure the prince. When Aka and her mother heard of the king's announcement, Aka pleaded with her mother to search for the cure for the prince's illness. Aka's mother initially refused, as she did not want to get involved with the wicked prince. However, after much pleading, Aka's mother decided to call upon the witch to beg her to forgive the prince. Aka's mother offered many sacrifices and called upon the witch. The witch appeared and told Aka's mother that she knew why she had been called, but that she was not going to forgive the prince. Aka's mother begged her for a long time. The witch said the prince had insulted her and pushed her to the ground, which was a crime she could never forgive. Aka's mother knelt down and begged the old witch. She sacrificed 3 goats to her, after which the witch gave Aka's mother the cure for the prince's illness. Aka's mother knelt down and thanked the witch. The next day, Aka and her mother went to the palace and revealed their intention to cure the prince of his strange illness. The queen was very angry and said to them that all the men in the village had failed to find the cure, so she doubted they could. She ordered Aka and her mother to leave the palace, but the king told them to try. To everyone's surprise, Aka's mother placed the cure on the prince's head, and he vomited a substance. Afterward, he was able to talk and began crying. Aka's mother revealed who had cursed the prince and what he had done to the old woman. The queen was ashamed of herself and her upbringing. The queen and her son were chased out of the palace, and Aka's mother became the queen. Prince Junju became a commoner, and the villagers all avoided and hated him. The moral of this story is never to look down on anyone, no matter how much power or authority you have.